Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you have all been doing well and staying sane through all the world has to offer right now. I know I've been trying my darndest and it's been a ride, but we're all still here. But anyhow, I wanted to come on here and do another celebrity profile of sorts. The royal family over there in Britain have always been part of media culture, and as of late have been part of media culture, but they've been coming under fire, some severe fire, and they've been drenched in controversy currently. But this little American girl who grew to become an actress and then the Duchess of Sussex is the one that is holding the match currently. But the question is she destined for ridicule and far worse consequences? Or is she destined to be a heroine? Well, let's get into it. Duchess of Sussex. Or is she the former Duchess of Sussex? Who knows how they do things over there? But anyhow, Meghan Markle, the fire starter. On to the video. So Meghan Markle was born August 4th, 1981, which makes her a Leo. But what is far more interesting is that her rising sign is that of Cancer. So for those of you who had an opportunity to check out our video we did on rising signs, you'll come to understand that the rising sign is pretty much what we show the world. And in Meghan's situation, even though at her core she possesses this fiery protection and the destruction that a Leo energy has, what she has shown us and the media and the world is that of her Cancer side, which is quite evident as she has shown, well, at least in the media, she has shown that she has great interest in being part of family, and more specifically in her situation, the royal family. So if you ever watched media clips of her smiling and gushing, it just seemed like she was so happy in the beginning to be part of this thing, this royal family, all the while protecting her own family. Her very soul is motivated by emotional intimacy and caretaking, where home and family are at the very core, which is very indicative of a Cancer energy. I mean, Cancer is the mother sign, so Cancers naturally possess that nurturing ability. So, being that Cancer is her rising sign, this is probably why she had to make the hard decision to remove her family from royal responsibility, and the royal family as a whole, as family, was far more important than standing behind some crown and everything that comes with that. Does that sound familiar? Well, if it does, you're probably thinking about Diana, Princess Diana, Lady Di, who herself, at her core, was a Cancer, but her rising sign was Sagittarius, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. So, what of Meghan? Well, the day that she was born, August 4th, she and other people born on this day are blessed with the responsibility of being a guiding light of sorts to whatever social group, political movement, or business that they may belong to. And on the coattails of her explosive interview that she had with Oprah, it still remains as to what group she is actually a guiding light for. The die-hard royalist, the modern era, or the people who look to shed light on the fact that there is a sort of exclusivity within the royal family. Either way, she will make her influence felt. Even though those born on this day are not necessarily cut out to be leaders per se, they can, however, be extremely useful as a sort of beacon to represent ideals and aspirations that are directly related to the group that they represent. Which is interesting because this is probably why Barack Obama which just so happens to be born on the same day as Meghan, was so instrumental in securing the presidency for not one, but 2 terms as the representative of his affiliation to the Democratic Party, as his famous "Yes, we can" slogan motivated an otherwise broken state of the union. So here we are coming up the coattails of Bush and 9/11, and here it is, this person comes and becomes this beacon and becomes this representative for a group of people across the country who wanted just us to get out of it all. And like Barack Obama said, yes, we can. And people hung on to that, and he got that vote. But anyway, another interesting fact is that those born on this day must be able to go their own way and make a place for themselves. Otherwise, they can become hot-headed and, for lack of a better word, problematic. Which is not necessarily a problem for this type of Leo energy, because I feel that had Diana had that same driving motivation that Meghan has, things would have been different. I mean, at her core, yes, she had that Cancer energy, that mother energy, but her rising sign, was different. She had the rising sign of Sagittarius. But Diana's rising sign as Sagittarius is a different kind of fire energy, as Sagittarius is more of a traveling energy, where Leo is more of a protective and kingly energy. So Sagittarians, they seek to explore and understand and learn. And if you followed any of Diana's story or any of Diana's life, you can see that that's how Diana was. She traveled to various countries and met with various different people and generally cared to the point where, it was like she was motherly. She was using that Cancer energy. But then her rising sign was there, like, I want to learn. I want to see what these people are going through. I want to see what I can learn from this place and that place and this person and that person. But it's kind of interesting because it remains to be seen what would have happened if Diana's astrological makeup had been different. I mean, what if she had that fire energy at the fire energy at the core, and she showed the world Cancer as her rising sign? I mean, who knows the difference her fate would have took. But as we all know, her fate found her in a tunnel, and well, the rest is history. Diana, unlike Meghan, led a sort of quiet revolt, whereas Meghan and those born on this day tend to openly revolt, especially against established systems and ideas. However, their central influence can only last for but a short time, unless, of course, they are instrumental in inciting a riot or a revolt, or at least getting the conversation started. I'm not saying that Meghan's going to go and start some riot or revolt or disdain for the royal family over there in Britain, but she will at least, I think, get the conversation started. Inevitably, those born on this day need to be and feel free to speak. So Meghan sat down one day at home, picked up her phone, and called the very queen that would allow for something like that. I'm sure it went something like, "Hey, Oprah, we need to talk." So, as for Oprah, in that interview, Meghan showed and expressed that she needed to be free to shine, and that if the crown was going to silence her, which it did, that she would find another way, another outlet to deliver her ideas and concerns to those who would listen, and to tell the crown, "I will not be ignored." Which is so easy, as Diana waited and wanted to do the same thing. I mean, in various interviews that she had. But we saw how the media destroyed Diana and her credibility. And if you watched The Crown, the show The Crown, oh my God, I love that show. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. From season 1 all the way up to season 4. In the show, you'll see Diana didn't have any support. You know, she didn't have any support from family, from the royal family. There was no one around her that was there to support her and what she was trying to let people know or let the family know. And that subsequently, it caused her to run. But the only problem is that she was running alone. While Meghan has the support of her husband, close friends, celebrities, Americans, so she had a support system, but Diana was alone. However, Meghan's biggest challenge is going to be a way to find a total centeredness. She's going to need to be able to find a way to be centered in all of this. And if she's successful, she will have formidable strength and guidance. But if she finds herself a little off center and teeters to the left or to the right, then she'll probably fall prey to a place of great harm to either her family or even herself. And in the interview, she made that evident as she expressed how she had contemplated suicide on a couple different occasions. But to do that would silence her forever, inevitably giving the crown what they want. They don't want her saying anything. I feel that she needs to act responsibly, as she has a duty, not to the royal family, but she has a duty to her husband and her children. And she also has, in my opinion, this reincarnated duty to finish what Diana was trying to start. Those born on August 4th, obviously, are ruled by the number 4. So those born on this day have a tendency to be kind of difficult and argumentative, which can lead to explosive feelings, which can be damaging to any relationship, especially to the one that she could potentially have with her husband. So when the news was coming out that she was giving people that worked in the palace a hard time and this person a hard time, I kind of believe it, because people who have this, that are ruled by that number, have a tendency to be kind of difficult and, you know, a little argumentative, where it's just like, it's got to be my way, and if it's not my way, then get out of my face. The very core of the relationship that she has with Harry is based on personal struggles. And if they don't take the time to understand themselves, then they will find themselves in a similar situation to Harry's mother and his father, which can be shown to be a very repressed relationship, as you saw with Diana and Charles, that can cause bouts of escapism and divorce, also leading to resentment and rejection. And I think at the end of the day, I think Meghan just wants to be heard, and she wants to be safe, and she wants her family to be safe. But if it's not done properly, then Harry could find himself in a place where he starts to resent her and even reject her, which would then lead to divorce. But if Meghan and Harry can come to understand each other's motivations, this will create a sort of power between the two of them, and it'll subsequently pay off in their favor. So if they can work together, then they're going to show the crown, like, we don't need you anyway. But we'll see what happens. Harry happens to be a Virgo, and he has a Capricorn rising. So he is both driven yet secretive. As Virgos, they don't really open up to just anybody. They need to be able to trust you first. So I hope that he is able to find himself where he can trust his wife, because if not, then it could be damaging. And even though in the interview and in the media and in news articles, he says that he is behind the decision to move away from the crown and the royal family, that still remains to be seen, as he's kind of allowed this woman to take him and to put him in a position where he had to extricate himself from everything that he's known. I mean, his entire life was growing up as a prince in a palace and the royal family and everything that comes with being in the royal family. But we'll see. But as far as Meghan, if she can find a strong balance she can see one of two outcomes. One, she'll find herself off balance and go to a dark place and fall victims to the powers that be, or she can find herself balanced and centered and take down the monarchy, or at least get the conversation started. As I said, most things blow up to things unrelated anyway. Think about it. If we as humans battle things or bottle things up, over time, feelings and those things that you're holding inside will usually be brought up and brought to a head by the smallest of things. For example, oh, you stained my shirt, would then turn into, I hate that you cheated on me. You get it, right? So it's like, it's that whole concept we all go through where you bottle these things up and then eventually you just, it blows up just out of the smallest thing. Anyway, the question is, will Meghan be able to take down the monarchy? What do you think? Or will she get the conversation started? Will Diana have the last word? Because we still don't know. I mean, Diana left with some unfinished business. So, I mean, Meghan might be that one that's going to put the period on Diana's mission. This particular situation with Meghan, it reminds me of a film that starred Hilary Swank. The movie was called The Affair of the Necklace. It's a rather older movie, so I don't know how many of you will be familiar with that. But the film, it was sort of a romantic drama that represented the controversial true story of Jeanne de la Motte Valois. Jeanne de la Motte was a countess whose name was stripped from her by the royal family at the time, headed by Marie Antoinette during the late 18th century. The story, it frames her fight to not only restore her name, but to also restore her proper place in society and the world, amidst mystery, intrigue, and desire, with an infamous necklace that was at the core and the center of it all. Subsequently, her name was restored, and oh yeah, she brought down the French monarchy, which led to the French Revolution. Do your history. Sound familiar? Maybe a bit of history repeating itself? Either way, if you care, tell us what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share, and oh yeah, subscribe and like, but most importantly, don't forget to like. It lets YouTube know you like this content and that you like us. So go ahead, subscribe and like. Also, keep that notification bell on so you'll be notified when we release a new video. We have lots of stuff on our page and more coming. We'll be looking at astrology and its many links to the world, as well as videos relating to pop culture, style, and travel. Oh, and don't forget to follow our animated series, Resurgence of Hugh. Oh yeah, we're trying to make a real channel over here. Also, check out our shop and the many items we have available for purchase. But as always, thanks for watching. You keep us going, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And whether you're baking a cake, traveling to an exotic place, having a problem with yourself or a relationship, or maybe even taking down a monarchy, no need to turn your back, because the stars are always watching.